I make it quick because I know it's near to lunchtime. Okay, my name is Andrew. I met some of you, and I have not met some of you. So hopefully we can have a catch up later if any questions. So I'm a director of consulting of HD Tech. So for today, I would like to just sharing my story. And basically, I know some of you in your region or your country, you might heard about the name Odoo, and you might win some deals against them, you might lose some deals against them. So I also need to learn from you, what's the main thing that Acumatica can win over Odoo, because I'm a new partner of Acumatica. For me today, I would like to highlight with you what's Odoo's strengths, what's the weaknesses, and why we are a very strong partner of Odoo in Vietnam. We are the number one Odoo partner in Vietnam and Malaysia. In Vietnam, we confirm more 50% of their market share of Odoo, more than 50%. And why we take up Acumatica. So there's a story behind, and I hope we can share some insight with you for today. I'll share it. And of course, so let me start with myself. So I'm a Vietnamese born, and I'm born in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, and I'm spent about more than 10 years in Singapore, Malaysia, for study and working and develop business. So while most of my friends in my college time, they fly very far away, like Australia, like US, Europe, being an engineer or doing business there, I'm 100% in Southeast Asia regions. And I believe most of you guys here is the same thing. So, for the past 10 years, since, maybe 2010 to now, 12 years, 13 years, Southeast Asia have gone a very major growth in IT, in software, in solutions. We're starting a very struggling time. Little customer don't have budget for that. Until now, I think they have budget for a lot of big enterprise software. So we have gone through a lot of struggling, I believe, and myself also same thing. So I'm starting in Malaysia first actually, with 3 of my partners here to be first official Odoo partner in 2014, and then we developed market from there. We also become official Odoo partner in Vietnam in 2019. And until now, we both, from Malaysia and Vietnam, we both are the number one Odoo partner. So I met Ryan in November 2022. Yeah, my first trip after COVID to overseas. I'm so exciting. Wow, I see the world again. And then I see him. And then, at that time I have a lot of struggling. I share more later. And then I met Acumatica, and the way Acumatica position is the main competitor is NetSuite and SAP B1 and Microsoft Business Central. I'm so happy because I lost all the Odoo deals to them. So I know, this is the platform I can use to win back the customer that have option of these 3 options. And in Vietnam, they don't have Acumatica option much. So we hope to spread Acumatica and build a market there. So that's my story, and I just started. So hopefully next year I can share with you more. But we started our journey, and we need a lot of lesson from you guys. So just about 2 minutes of introduction about us. We started in 2007 by Martin, my partner and my boss. He's starting as 6 of them. He's in the software developers. I think most of us also have a similar starting point. And we have gone through a very long journey since then. We focus a lot on consulting focus for Southeast Asia market. Myself, lead that part. And now we have office in some country like Japan, Korea, Australia, outside of Southeast Asia. Also one in Germany and one in Canada and one in Australia. So what we are doing we are focused a lot on platform. We are platform driven. So I started Odoo, but we didn't stop there. We expand and we focus on the tier 2 customer. We call Odoo is actually we call tier 3 customer. They are very small customer, and I will share more later. So we have a tier 2 customer, which is Acumatica. We also position to bring solutions like e-commerce, like customer engagement, like digital workplace, and data platform. So we want to provide a full suite of solutions to our customer. So we are platform driven. Yeah. We are partner centric, and I love building partnership. I love to find a win-win situation when there's 2 party, 3 party, 4 party. You know, and at the end of the day, my job is to help the customer to choose a more suitable solution for them at that moment, at that time. It's not about whether I pitch Acumatica only, or I pitch Odoo only, or I pitch certain platform. My job is to help and ensure that we have a long-term customer lifetime value, and we have a long-term relationship with the customer. Win-win-win. Yeah, at least 3 parties already. We, customer, and the principal. That's my job. Alright, so we have like ecosystem. We are in Vietnam. We have the brand Onnet Consulting focus a lot on Odoo. So now we are using SD Tech for Acumatica. So that's the way we try to split the brand out. And in Malaysia, we also have the brand Onnet Consulting. So we also focus on Odoo with our partner. Okay, so enough about us. So I believe most of you have heard a lot about Odoo, but maybe myself is about more than 10 years old in Odoo, so maybe I give you a little bit of insight, extra insight. So this is some content that I have mostly. So this is the founder, Fabian. He's starting as a developer himself. I'm very admiring him. He bring the final year project FYP outside of the market and build a unicorn. It's the dream of all the software developer, and he did that. And the message that Odoo always say to customer, which I don't agree, because they want to bring an all-in-one software, and they try to push this software to replace all other systems, which is certain point is correct, but the business needs is so complex. So this approach usually doesn't work at all. But the main core of Odoo is similar to Acumatica, is focused on finance, warehouse, sale, purchase, and that is a core ERP module, and they are very strong in that for small business. Okay, and these are some of the business tactics. They expand. They're also partner-centric, so they build a very strong partner network, and they expand all over the world. I don't think any city in the world don't have them. Very, very strong presence, and they do that by partnership, a lot of local partners. Okay, so this is the whole application that they try to, build up, and very broad. So in Odoo, they are broad in terms of function, but not in depth. Very broad, and look very wonderful in the first time when we see. Okay, so the strategy of Odoo is focused on automation, affordable, and agility. So this is the marketing message. And Odoo have built in the architect that they break the whole business suite into different applications. Meaning today you can start with just one application, maybe CRM, just start with one. So you install CRM, you can only see the CRM, you can only work with the CRM. But if you expand your apps, you can install more. It's a similar concept with your phone. You can start with just one app on your phone, and then if you need more, you install more. And they have also have an app store. It's like marketplace. So in that's a way of simplifying things, which is good. And yeah. Okay, so this is the app. So one of the beautiful things is that they release a new version every year, and it's equal to the version that you have on your phone right now. So if you put up your phone, you are using iOS 16, actually Odoo is 16. So next year, this year, Odoo iOS gonna launch a 17. I think Odoo this year also upgrade to 17. So they upgrade very fast in terms of function, and they have about 2,000 employees, and majority of them is actually developers. Open source to the core, meaning that they give the purple color here for free. It's free here is not meaning this is important point because that's come to a later point I want to emphasize. This core here is actually they give out for free. For free is not mean for free to use. You are free to use this to build a product for your own. You can use the community version to sell to your customer, and Odoo doesn't charge anything. So it's up to you to do anything you want. And then the orange color here is actually the one that they build the enterprise apps outside and they sell extra. So they open source to the core and they sell the enterprise app. And they have app store to fulfill whatever they have outside the circle. And they are in the process to complete the full circle, meaning that they will continue to improve that. So which is, I think, some of the point that usually other people don't have the same understanding. And because they are open source, so actually we can host in any environment you want. You can use the cloud version, which is SaaS. You can host on your own on-premise, and you can also use the cloud platform. It's hybrid. So for me right now, I try to put myself in your shoes. However, there's certain challenge when I try to position Acumatica because it's actually is the upper customer. And like I told you before, the main reason why we signed up Acumatica because we have been losing all this mid-market to other, not to using Odoo to pitch against them, and we all lose 100%. So whenever we go to a deal, it's not usually happen. Among 10 opportunities, we have like one that the customer consider Odoo and NetSuite, for example, and we're gonna lose. Because the functionality of Odoo is very narrow. It's don't build depth, they don't have any vertical solution at all. It's meant for everyone, which is meant for very small business. So one other thing you might see in your competition when you have the pitch against Odoo is that you are very likely to compete against a community vendor. So that we use the selling point is zero license because they're using the purple color. So whenever you hear the zero license, they are actually community vendor, which is they use Odoo community and customer on top of that. And of course, because zero license is very easy to pitch to customer, the customer don't feel any liability, but there's still a liability that they're gonna see, which is the technical debt, because they use the inside the purple color. So basically, most of the gap, they will solve that by customization, putting the old code. So it's a huge gap. I'm sure that it's a huge gap because once Acumatica is in, meaning that the demand for customer is huge. So when the demand is huge and Odoo cannot fit, so they try to fit everything by putting the customization. And all this customization is all the technical debt. Why I quote technical debt? Because none other vendor want to take over that. Because that is a code that developed by that vendor, so none other vendor want to take over that. And because none other vendor want to take over, so they locked by one vendor, which is a very, very dangerous sport. And they're gonna stuck with old version forever. Why? I know this. Well, I used to be a community vendor until 2017 or 18. I used to be a community vendor. I do a lot of projects, and honestly until now, I have like about less than 10 customers that still stuck with Odoo community forever. And now Odoo 16, they are still in Open ERP 7, or Odoo 8, or Odoo 9. And sometimes, looking back, I only tell myself that I tell my customer, that's the best of me at that time. I only know that, and that's the best of technology at that time. And that's all I can do. I can only even sell you the best thing at that time. But looking back, of course, a lot of improvement in terms of technology, in terms of my own consulting skill, my own knowledge. So, but again, a lot of other vendors still approaching that. So, this is something that you can advise the customer to be careful with a zero license model. Okay, the second thing that you will hear from, even they are the enterprise vendor, and because Odoo, they don't build a vertical solution. So let's say you go to the construction customer, or you go to manufacturing customer, or you're going to like real estate customer or asset management, they will say yes to everything. And they will say yes to what Odoo can have, and we say yes to what Odoo don't have. Because everything is customizable, so they will say yes to everything. And again, everything that they say yes to, they can customize, of course, but all the liability that just I mentioned is going to apply to the same thing. And since Odoo also provide upgrading script every year to upgrade from 14 to 15, 15 to 16, but because of a lot of customization have been done, even to the core, if they don't know how to do it correctly, end up they also stuck in the old version. And the worst part is that they still need to pay the Odoo license every year and still stuck to the old version. So this is even worse than using a community version. So that's something that you also can consider if to ask the customer to try to look for the fit gap analysis to see how much gap they have between what Odoo have today and what is the requirement, and compare with the fit gap of Acumatica and see whether it's worth to consider to start and develop on Odoo or not. So that's something that I also advise my team the same thing when we analyze and propose, because for the past 2 months after we onboard Acumatica, of course we don't have any customer that they call and say, hey, can you advise me about Acumatica? I don't have. But I have a lot of customers and ask me about Odoo. And now I have a second option to propose to them. So we have a certain opportunity that we counter propose them. Since your need is so complex and it's so hard to build up from Odoo, why don't you consider a second option? So that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, and the worst part, and something that I find is it's not sustainable in certain market. I mean, I don't talk about my own situation, I can control it, but I believe in some other market, that's going to be something that prevent Odoo going fast and going far. Because actually, in a way, they are competing against their partners. Why I say so? There's 3 reasons. Firstly, they have their own sales team in your country, or they have their own sales team to target the customer that you are targeting directly by Odoo. So I do some research, and the direct sales team, even the number of direct sales team people even bigger than the indirect sales team, because one indirect person can take care of 10 partners, but in order to target the number of customers that the partner targeting, they need more, of course. But then, that's something that is happening, and of course it's different with Acumatica, and that's something that I really keen to explore our partnership further. So that's the first, that's one point. The second point is that they also refer list, Odoo refer list, but the list that they refer is after they pass through the direct sales and they find there's a gap between what they can offer and the customer requirements. So they know that there's more risk, more challenge, so they pass to partner. So partner always get a second layer. And that's something I also know, so I'm not so happy, but yeah, that's a fact. And another point that usually is a strength, also the weaknesses of Odoo, is that they evolve very fast. And which lead to the point that, it's still not stable. It's still not something that is going to stop there for a certain 2 or 3 years. So every year they release a new version, so the partner keep updating the new one. The old one need to allow architect changes in the siren, so they can arise a lot of problem when we reach to
the higher end or mid-size to large size customer. Because mid to large size customer, they have a different mindset with the small one. The small one, okay, you give me new thing is fine. But the large one, in order to do change management, to do a lot of upgrade, it takes time because they're huge size. So again, Odoo is meant for small business, and if the vendor bring Odoo to a wrong segmentation, there's a price to be paid for. Yeah, opinion. Yeah. And what we are doing differently, instead of going to the customization game, we avoid that. We do marketing, we build our brand. The same thing like what we are doing for Acumatica today. We try to bring the value to the customer rather than try to, do a customization. So we spend most of our time to onboard a new user, to find a customer that fit with Odoo. We do aggressively marketing, even stronger than them. So right now, I can say when the customer want to look for Odoo in Vietnam, they look for us. So that's what we have been achieved. And then we build a very strong local integration with all our local partners, Vietnamese local partners for Odoo. So they also can refer lists when they have a customer. So that's our strategy. And we enrich our Odoo human resource by doing a training, doing a technical training, functional training, open the academy, train our people, train other people outside. And the academy is taken care by one of our directors. And we are going to do the same thing for Acumatica. We focus on marketing, we focus on looking for a customer that's suitable for the product or the ISV product. We onboard and enrich our resource to ensure that we have enough resource to tackle the projects, and using this training as a way to educate the market or as a way of marketing. And of course, we providing our resource on demand to the customer, to our partner. So that's how we are doing Odoo, and we want to apply the same thing to our platform. And this is a sample of my list of my local partners in Vietnam. So we are happy to work with a partner in order to localize a certain international platform like Acumatica Odoo. We need local partner, the POS, the cloud platform, the IoT guy, the logistics, the e-invoice, call center, and local payment. Those things we need to find, and we need to build up the partnership and the way to work with when we go to the local market. And again, that's my sharing. Any question?
What is Odoo Dodge? You showed this before this slide. There was these 3 different deployment methods, I think.
It's using the person, it's using the
Odoo SS.
Yeah.
Okay.
Odoo Dodge.
You mean this one?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a very interesting architect that developed by another guy named Fabian. Different with Fabian because he's also Fabian. So Fabian actually is a very long story. I heard this story directly from him when I attended the Odoo experience. So he said that he used to be an internship at Odoo, and then after he quit Odoo, he go out, and his friend asked him to join back and asked him to think of anything you want to do for Odoo, just do it. So he built this Odoo SS. It's like a private cloud platform that maintains the partner customization together with Odoo code. So that platform, every time Odoo upgrade, they upgrade their own, they're not affecting the partner. And the partner also can join and deploy the customization for any individual customer. So it's a private cloud provided by Odoo and managed 100% by Odoo. So the partner only focus on providing service, consulting, and not to worry about infrastructure. So about 40% of customers using Odoo SS.
I was reading it as Odoo Dodge, and it's something else in my head, so thank you for clarifying it.
Odoo SS.
So, what I never looked really into detail into Odoo, so what I really find interesting from a licensing perspective and from you competing with this, my understanding is there are 2 different Odoo resellers. So one is this community version, which is not an ERP. It's like an individual development in the
Exactly.
So it's one vendor who customized, who developed it, and if this guy goes out of business, the customer dies, right? So,
Exactly.
so that's one approach. So try to find it out. If you compete with Odoo, is this one of these community vendor or resellers? So if not, I like the licensing model. So we always talk about our competition, our standard competition. You pay per user and you get full functionality. We turn it around, we say, you only pay for what you use, but we give you unlimited users. I like what Odoo is doing there, because they do both. You pay extra per module that you want to use, and per user again on top of it. This is what you need to use in your discussions when you have a customer. So I think it's a very strange model, but if they are happy with it, it's okay. Because in the end, it's double, right? It's one time for module and then for user again on top of it, what nobody else is doing, or I didn't see it before. So yeah, thank you very much. I think this gives us a good idea, and like I said, we here